earlier today. Now, the Regional Police Command has given an update. 8 accused persons have been arraigned before the Circuit Court in Accra today. The accused persons are connected with violent incidents during the Ablekuma North parliamentary rerun held Friday, 11 July 2025. Now, the accused persons are Mohammed Abubakar, 32 years of age, a private security officer; Tijani Mahamudu, 38 years of age, a driver; Prince Jakwasu, 39, a businessman; Anas Mohammed, 42, an estate developer; Mohammed Hamza, 35 years old, a mechanic; Dakon Otibo Samuel, 33 years, a businessman; Musa Muntari, 46 years old, a station manager; and Ali Said alias Bomba, also 43 years old, a businessman. We've been showing you videos of what happened, but the police say these are the 8 persons who say they pleaded guilty. But, Mr. Kumadoe, hearing this, and then also the fact that this is coming days ahead of this Akwatia by-election, how much of an impact will this have on the minds, especially those who are seeking to foment trouble on that particular day?
Then, Alfred, if you remember, last week Wednesday, IGP Yohonu said and stressed the point that they will be put before court on Thursday or Friday. So today is Tuesday, hearing that a judge has pronounced them guilty, sort of, it's a good news. But then again, remember, the responsibility to prosecute crime is that of the state. So if the Attorney General is allowing the police to go to court as quickly as possible to put people who have come under their control, who have been investigated in one way the other, who might have committed a crime, the BNI goes to court, the police go to court. If issues such as this, the police can be given the permission to go to court and prosecute, it takes away a burden from the Attorney General so they can deal with some other matters. And the police can be confident that they have done the job, they have gone to court, and they are securing convictions for people who are guilty of a crime or something. And I think that, again, it serves as a deterrence to people who want to come to Akwatia and create problems. But after going back to Sola and Akwatia and many of the by-elections we have, we live in an area where people who want to create confusion and destabilize communities are very close to us. I'm talking about acts of internal terrorism and external ones. And the police, from my sources, are not ruling out any of these ones. So when you see the preparedness of the police by using the specialized forces within the Ghana Police Services, combined with the military when the need be, then they are taking the risks of the internal threats very seriously. And it's my hope and prayer that National Security Secretariat and the government itself will make the resources available to the first responders in particular to ensure that whichever threats may come, whether internally or from people externally, by some level of aggression towards our nation, they have the capacity and they are well positioned to cap it. Because I've heard in security management, there's something we call security positioning. And when you get your positioning wrong, it takes you a very long time to go around the circle to be able to come to a center where you can maintain stability. And I pray that we are watching all these things carefully. And whether it's by-election or it's people trying to destabilize communities, let's go for it and ensure that national security sovereignty is guaranteed at all times.
But how do you also, especially on the back of this arrests that have been made, and then well, with these people pleading guilty, essentially they are now convicts awaiting sentencing. So that's how the case is going to play out going forward. And there are those who also reference a more expanded investigation into what probably could have also led to this violence, and which I know is a conversation you've had or been involved in over time on that particular incident, and some persons who have been involved in similar acts of violence in elections that have not been convicted as well. Is there any legitimacy to that particular argument that, look, if we're stemming this and then also trying to stop this election violence, it must be broad and encompassing?
Yeah, they have the right to make that argument, but after once they are playing into the gallery by setting up commissions, you know the outcome of the Ayawaso West Commission, nothing happened. That became a political football ground. We are security managers, we are investigators, we ensure that the state is kept safe. We want to protect the state and protect everybody, every asset of the state. Allow the frontline law enforcement officers, the police in particular, particularly the frontliners, to deal with issues of crime precisely as possible. And this is one of them. The police made the arrest, the police investigated, the police put them before the court, and the police persuaded the judge based on the facts out of the investigation. And if the judge see wisdom in what the police are saying, based on the evidence presented before the judge and sentence them, then we say kudos to the police. And that is the way it must be. People will want a standard version of interdependency and parliamentarians getting involved and commissions of inquiry and all that. Yeah, that is great, but that's placed to the public gallery, and that has not given us any results over the years. Police
but that's what the issue is.
Responders when it comes to crime prevention in this country.
That's what the issue is. We are now seeing a different approach.
Yes, so
we are now seeing the different approach.
I'm
coming to a point. Yes, we are now seeing a different approach where the police is now, leading this entire process of prosecution. There's been no commission of inquiry established. The police has done their job of investigating this, as against the previous instances where commission of inquiries were established, white papers issued, and nothing done, even though persons were found guilty of involvement in acts of violence during elections.
Yeah, definitely. I love this one. And I've been a crusader for this particular one. So I'm tempted to call the IGP and say kudos, or have a cup of tea on my own, because this is the way it's supposed to be. And politics and political actors are threats to democracy, and they can destabilize the state by certain actions, predacious characters hiding behind politics, or the treacherous elements within can create problems. And once commission of inquiry is set, they know it wouldn't get anywhere. But I love the police. When the police need help, the BNI is there to provide them the intelligence, and they will always lead. Then you also have your brothers in the military, where they come to destabilize whoever groupings or whoever will want to destabilize the state. That gives some level of leverage to the police and give them the confidence that, yes, we are investigators, we are prosecutors, we can get the job done. After, in investigation and prosecution, one of the critical things is that in some other countries, prosecutors from the Attorney General Department go to the field with the investigators. But when you have a case where investigators do the job and some other people have to go to court, and there have been cases in this country where they go to court and do some other things, it can serve as a disservice and demoralization to the frontline investigators. Allow the police, if you think they need capacity building, make their resources available, build their capacity in terms of prosecution, and let them do the job. And this is the way it has to be. And so kudos to the police, and they should take it, and that they should take this victory or this succession in prosecution to Akwatia, and make sure that those who come to foment trouble are arrested as quickly as possible, and they are persecuted, because non-punishable offenses will always rationalize bad behavior and promote antisocial tendencies in society. Then ask yourself, how many election violence has been swept under the carpet? And that is becoming a new trend and a new platform for some other people to exploit the vulnerabilities in communities. And we need to stop it. It doesn't help anybody.
I thank you very much for joining us. Richard Kumadoe is a security consultant. Thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight.